but he's the same height as me, if not an inch taller, but thick.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're a lot thicker than I would expect. Yeah. And the speed, that's the thing that I'm like, okay, that's the danger. But
he's a freak, man.
Yeah.
Aspinall's a freak. Like, I've seen a lot of heavyweight, even Francis, who's like the greatest, scariest power striker I've ever seen in the heavyweight division. No one's scarier than Francis. Francis does not move like Tom Aspinall.
Jon Jones, you know, it's probably the best fighter that...
If I'm Jon Jones, like, a lot of people consider him the GOAT, the best fighter ever do it. The next hungry lion is Aspinall.
Right. Jon has been undisputed this whole time, and I'll stand by that forever until someone else tries to do something about it. And if it's not Tom, then someone else can try too. So Jon is definitely undisputed right now.
Jon Jones will smoke Tom Aspinall.
I don't know, man.
Man, he'll smoke Tom Aspinall.
Tom Aspinall is athletic. I think Tom Aspinall would try.
Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss any updates from the MMA world. Now let's get into it. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss updates on the biggest moments in MMA. Now, let's get into it.
Jon has been undisputed this whole time, and I'll stand by that forever until someone else tries to do something about it. And if it's not Tom, then someone else can try too. So Jon is definitely undisputed right now. We got a new generation of teenagers that are just like, oh, but we're gonna forget about Jon beating Shogun. We're gonna forget about Jon beating Machida. We're gonna forget about Jon beating Evans and Rampage and everybody else. And you can't discredit it. You can't.
Gable Steveson said he first connected with Jon Jones a few years ago after Jones followed him on Instagram. He was originally supposed to join Jones's training camp ahead of the Stipe Miocic fight, but Jon got injured. Later, Gable reached out again and said after calling Jon on a Saturday, he was in New Mexico by Monday training with him. He described the experience as unique and eye-opening, and said that Jon played a huge role in pushing him to pursue MMA seriously.
Yes, I did. Unique experience. I connected with Jon maybe a few years ago. He followed me on Instagram, and from there, I was supposed to go to his last camp when he was first going to fight Stipe, but he hurt his shoulder. And so I reached out to him, and I was like, yo, do you still want to have me come down? And I kid you not, I called him Saturday. By Monday, I was in New Mexico with him, like getting ready to practice. So, man, unique situation. Really cool, really eye-opening. He's definitely the real reason why I want to put on a glove.
Paddy Pimblett also weighed in. He said he really likes Tom and considers him one of the coolest guys in MMA. But even with Jon Jones aging, Paddy still can't pick against him. He believes Jon has the highest fight IQ in the sport and always shows up with the perfect plan. As much as he wants to see Tom win, he just can't go against Jon.
Do you think the Aspinall-Jones fight happens?
It's got to happen. I was sitting next to Tom the other week at the UFC in London and talking to him about it.
How do you think that plays out if they fight?
I'll be honest, Tom's a friend. I love Tom. He's one of the coolest dudes in the whole of MMA. Even though Jones is getting old, I just can't pick against Jon Jones. The one thing I do think Jon Jones has got the best in the world and the best ever is his fight IQ. He has a perfect game plan to beat that person. As much as I love Tom and I want Tom to win, I couldn't pick against Jon Jones. It's just something I couldn't do.
Gable Steveson also made it clear that he respects Tom Aspinall and acknowledges that he's a great interim champion. But he firmly believes Jon has always been the real undisputed champ. Until someone proves otherwise, Gable says he's sticking to that.
Well, you're a big guy. What do you think about Tom Aspinall?
What do I think about Tom Aspinall? Man, I think Tom's a great interim champion. He's a really great interim champion. And there's a lot of buzz about him right now, about him in the Jon Jones situation. But I feel that Jon has been undisputed this whole time. And I'll stand by that forever until someone else tries to do something about it. And if it's not Tom, then someone else can try too. So Jon is definitely undisputed right now.
Demetrious Johnson praised Aspinall's talent, but thinks Jones would beat him with ease. He said he'd prefer to see Jones versus Aspinall over Jones versus Pereira. But he added that Aspinall reportedly asking for $30 million could be why the fight isn't booked yet.
Jon Jones will smoke Tom Aspinall.
I don't know, man.
Man, he'll smoke Tom Aspinall.
Tom Aspinall is athletic. I think Tom Aspinall would try to take the fight to Jon Jones. And it'll be interesting to see. Like, I'd rather see that fight over Alex Pereira.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
I agree. I would like to see that fight over Alex, but come on, man. Aspinall is a great fighter. Yep. He's a good champion.
Aspinall.
That's what I said. Jon Jones will smoke Aspinall.
Yeah.
Smoke him.
I can't wait to see. I hope it happens. That's the fight that needs to happen. I think Tom Aspinall versus Jon Jones needs to happen.
Why do you think there's so much friction there? Why do you think it's not happening? Why? Because we see so much.
I think Jon Jones
internet.
said he wants $30 million.
Gable Steveson also said that people shouldn't judge Jon until he returns to the cage. He pointed out that Jon has been on top for nearly 20 years, and younger fans today often overlook what he's done. Gable called it frustrating, especially since Jones beat legends like Shogun Rua, Lyoto Machida, Rashad Evans, Rampage Jackson, and Daniel Cormier.
Tom's a go-getter, and he's trying to fight for what's right and trying to get the Jon Jones fight, and I applaud that. But until further notice, until Jon steps in the cage, I feel like we really can't say nothing.
I mean, it's been what, 20 years? 20 years he's been on top. No one's done that.
No one. So, and we're in a new generation of social media that kids haven't recognized Jon's past of being that great. So it bothers me because growing up, I'm watching UFC and I'm watching Jon take care of business when I'm 9 and 10 years old, 11 years old. And now we got a new generation of teenagers that are just like, oh, but we're going to forget about Jon beating Shogun. We're going to forget about Jon beating Machida. We're going to forget about Jon beating Evans and Rampage and everybody else. And
Cormier. Sonnen, Cormier twice. Oh, he pissed dirty, they say.
Cormier's only losses are to the best guys in their weight class, like forever best guys. And so you can't discredit it. You can't. So, and do I like Tom? I think Tom's cool, but...
Israel Adesanya highlighted that Tom and Jon are close in size. He said Tom's speed is dangerous, but Jon's grappling gives him the edge. Until they actually fight, he says nobody really knows who wins.
But he's the same height as me, if not an inch taller, but thick.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're a lot thicker than I would expect. Yeah. And the speed, that's the thing that I'm like, okay, that's the danger. But again, grappling, he's a black belt, but Jon is...
It's different.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. They got to fight. But if they don't ever fight, we'll never know.
Jamahal Hill said Jones always steps up when challenged, and a fight with Aspinall would be one of his toughest yet. He said it's just a matter of whether Jon is ready to take that challenge.
Jon Jones has taught us anything, you can never count him out. You never count him out no matter what the challenge is, no matter what. He's always risen to the occasion and risen to that challenge and perform exponentially. So I think that it'll be a good fight. I believe it'll be a good fight. I believe it'll probably be one of the harder fights and harder challenges that Jon has had in his career. So, I mean, it's all about if he wants to challenge himself like that or not.
Kamaru Usman believes Aspinall is the most dangerous heavyweight and the biggest threat to Jon Jones. But he says Jon should make sure he gets paid before accepting that risk.
You hit the nail on the head. I do think Tom Aspinall is the most dangerous heavyweight right now. 100% the biggest threat to pry that belt away from Jon Jones. But Jon has got to get that bag.
Dricus du Plessis said Tom is young and hungry, while Jon is nearing retirement. He wants Jon to retire unbeaten and Aspinall to rise afterward. Still, he respects Jon's ability to make even tough fights look easy.
Aspinall is young, he's hungry. You have Jones, who is definitely at the end of his career, 38 years old. I don't need to see this because he's never been beaten. I want Jon Jones to retire unbeaten, and I want him to retire, and Aspinall goes on to be the next big thing. But Jon Jones, being the warrior that he says, pay me enough and I'm doing it. Aspinall wants it, and one of them has to lose that fight. And that's the one thing, you look at it and you go, Aspinall's probably going to win. But then, if you ask me that, I say, no. We've said that so many times with Jon Jones, and it makes it look easy. He is the greatest of all time, for sure.
Daniel Cormier called the situation weird. He said if it were him, he'd want to be paid well to fight Jon. He doesn't believe Jon fears Aspinall, but does recognize the danger.
This whole Tom Aspinall, Jon Jones thing, for lack of a better word, is just weird. For me, it's just weird. Like, I don't get it. If I give him the opportunity to fight me, I want to be compensated. I want to say it. I want that money. Jon Jones shooting straight. Because at the end of the day, guys, I will tell you, he's not afraid. Tom Aspinall to Jon Jones is just another guy that he would fight and that he believes he can beat. But what he does want is to get paid. And I think he recognizes the dangers in the fight. I mean, when this line opened, Jon Jones was an underdog. Jon Jones was the underdog. I don't even know if there's ever been a time in his career where someone has been favored to beat Jon Jones. And I think that concerns him.
Cormier added that Jon should fight sooner rather than later. Every month that passes, he gets older while Tom gets better.
If I was Jon Jones, I would do this earlier than later.
because every month that passes, he just gets older, and Tom Aspinall gets better. So I will try to do this as soon as possible. I wouldn't want to wait till New York next year, where he's almost 38, 39 years old, with that kid just continuing to improve.
Bilal Muhammad said Aspinall could be Jon's toughest opponent, but thinks Jon may favor a Pereira fight unless the money is huge. He believes Dana White will want the Aspinall fight because of how big it could be.
If I'm Jon Jones, like a lot of people consider him the GOAT, the best fighter ever do it. The next hungry lion is Aspinall. It's probably the toughest fight that he'll have. Like this guy's the next generation. He's a lot stronger, a lot faster. But I think Jon Jones is good enough to beat him. But it's like it has to be worth it. The fans are fickle, right? You lose one fight, they're gonna, he sucks. Right? They just care about your last win or your last loss. I think Dana White and them will end up making it. Dana White's a smart businessman. He knows how much money that fight would make. If I'm Jon Jones, you've already done everything in the sport. It's not worth it unless it's that $30 million, $50 million payday. If I'm Jon Jones, I'm picking out Pereira first over
Eddie
Aspinall.
Hall said Tom Aspinall would win if they fought. He accused Jon Jones of ducking the fight and pointed to Jones hinting at retirement after his next bout.
Jon Jones or Tom Aspinall. So if you don't know MMA world, sorry to bore you, but Tom Aspinall is UFC's #1 right now. Jon Jones is, he's seen as the best MMA fighter on the planet. Dana White's got a massive for him, says he's unbeatable. Honestly, I think if you put Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall in a room and said one man leaves, I think Tom Aspinall leaves that room. I genuinely do. I think, and I think Jon Jones, I mean, I can't badmouth the guy. He's got an amazing record, but he's definitely ducking Tom Aspinall, 100%. And I think he's even said he doesn't want to fight Tom Aspinall after his next fight. He's pretty much going to retire after this fight, so he's ducking Tom Aspinall. I mean, he can say what he wants, but actions speak louder than words.
Sean O'Malley said Jon's legacy is cemented regardless of future fights, but risking a loss to Tom could affect how some fans view him.
Tom Aspinall? God damn. It's like you risk going down as no matter what, you don't have to fight again. Greatest of all time, people will say that. You're the greatest of all time, greatest of all, Jon Jones. Or you risk it, go fight Tom Aspinall, possibly lose, and then it's like, he was the greatest. Then they're saying, but he wasn't in his prime.
Stipe Miocic praised Jon's fight IQ and warned Aspinall not to repeat his mistake of taking a liver shot. But he also acknowledged Tom's strengths.
With Jones, he's as good as one of the best of all time, if not the best of all time. He's just smart, real tricky, but
get booked with him and Jon Jones. What's the best advice you'd give Tom Aspinall?
Don't do what I did.
Avoid the liver shot.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? But I think Tommy, that guy, he's super tough and he hits hard. He moves well. He's a big man. I think that he stays calm under the situation, and whatever happens, he just stays calm. I think he'll be fine. He picks his shots. He's smart what he does, and I think he'll do fine.
Joe Rogan described Tom Aspinall as a freak athlete and said his speed and agility are unmatched. He said that could be a huge problem for Jones.
They do that with a guy like Aspinall, who's a legit 255-pound natural who moves like he's 80 pounds lighter. He's a freak, man.
Yeah.
Aspinall's a freak. Like, I've seen a lot of heavyweight, even Francis, who's like the greatest, scariest power striker I've ever seen in the heavyweight division. No one's scarier than Francis. Francis does not move like Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is significantly faster than every other heavyweight. That's a real problem.
Chael Sonnen said the fight will happen next and denied all rumors of Jon delaying it.
This fight is going to happen. In fact, this fight is going to happen next. You will not see Jon Jones fight and it not be Tom Aspinall. I can give you that as an assurance. I can't do it the other way. I cannot tell you that there's no scenario where Tom Aspinall fights and it would be against anyone but Jon Jones. I can't do that. I'm very close. I can go further. You will see Jon Jones fight Tom Aspinall. All the reports that you've heard that Jon is holding this fight up, they're not true. Jon has gone to the media and he's had his fun. The litmus test is when that phone rings and it's Dana White, what is said in that moment. That's the only way you go into the category of delaying and or ducking. That did not happen. That is a false report.
Georges St-Pierre said if he had to pick any fighter in their prime for a Coliseum battle, it would be Jon Jones. He called him arguably the greatest fighter ever.
Jon Jones, it's probably the best fighter that ever lives. Talk about if I have to choose someone in his prime that I put in the Coliseum hand to hand, I think I would be Jon Jones. It's hard to deny that.
Cain Velasquez said stylistic matchups are what make heavyweight exciting, but he doesn't think Tom can beat Jon.
for me, it's obviously it's the matchups. Like the matchups was what makes everything interesting. So I think it's great what he's doing.
You think he beats Jon Jones? Do you think he beats Jon?
No, I don't think he does. So me just watching him, I kind of see his pattern a little bit, and his striking, the way he comes in and strikes. I think Jon sees it too.
Okay.
So I think with that, just because again, he studies, man. He does his homework. He's a master at this. He analyzes things. He studies you over and over again. I think just for that reason, he's gonna know what to do. So I don't think he beats Jon.
Curtis Blades gave Tom a slight edge, but said, beating Jon is never easy.
I think Aspinall beats him.
Yeah, I would pick him. Like, I would go 55% him. Obviously, it's not going to be a landslide. Like, we're going against Jon Jones. He's a legend. You got all the weapons.
Kane closed by saying Tom's aggressive style is effective but readable. That makes him vulnerable against a strategist like Jones.
The way that he comes in and fights, he does have a pattern that's somewhat easier to find when he comes in and strikes. And I think you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, a lot of things come with that. It's disguising your pattern. It's throwing fakes here and there before. But when he comes to attacks, he comes in and attacks. It's 100% full go. He comes in, glides in, lunges in, and does his attack. Again, not that it's not effective. It is. He's done great things with it. Look where he's at now. Not taking anything away from him. No, he is. But I think with the type of guy that Jon Jones is, I think he studies him and he beats him because of it.
Let us know in the comments who you think wins, Jon Jones or Tom Aspinall. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more deep MMA discussions every week.